Alright, what's going on, dudes? My name is, of course, Modder, and welcome to a kind of a little tutorial video I thought I'd make for people. If anyone is still confused on link summoning, this is the video for you. Now, I'm going to be showing you how the field used to look and how the field looks now, the changes, how to link summon, all that's going to be done in this video. So, this is just an example playmat. You're probably used to this. This is how the field looked like before the linked format. You have the 5 monster zones all lined up at the top. You have the graveyard. You have the deck zone. If I unfold it, because it's still folded. You have the extra deck zone. You have the field zone, the 5 spell and trap card zones. And then your 2 pendulum zones, one right there and one right there. Now, this is garbage. You don't use that. Well, it's a pretty cool playmat. That is, I will admit, a pretty cool playmat right there. But you don't use that anymore. Instead, you use the one in the Link Strike structure deck, the one that was given to us. If we open this up, wait 1 second while I open this up. This is what the new board looks like. So you notice some changes right off the bat. First of all, your pendulum zones have been moved to your spell and trap card zones. Now do not worry. You can still use these zones for spells and traps. Don't fret, don't panic, don't say boycott Yu-Gi-Oh! It's okay. What makes these either a pendulum zone or a spell and trap card zone depends on how you play it. So, if you take, let me get an example here. Hold on, let me find a spell card real quick. Here we go, I got one. If you take a spell, if you want to activate, say, Boogie Trap. Yes. If you want to activate Boogie Trap, you place it. You can place it here, okay? You do not have to place it in here. This is a spell and trap card zone until you make it a pendulum zone. So you can still play spells here. Same with this one. Still play traps. But once, there we go. Grab a pendulum monster real quick. Once you put a pendulum monster in here, it becomes a pendulum zone. See that? Just because this is a pendulum zone doesn't mean this is. These 2 zones are only pendulum zones when a pendulum monster occupies them. Otherwise, they're your normal spell and trap card zones. Then you got the field card zone, the extra deck, the graveyard, which is now being abbreviated to GY, the deck zone, and you still got your 5 main monster zones, which are now called the main monster zone. This is where you summon everything from your deck. Everything from your deck gets summoned to here. Now, one of the changes are these. These right here, the extra monster zones. This is now where you put your extra deck monsters, your synchros, XZs, any pendulums that get face up in here, fusions, and the new links. I do want to clarify, if a pendulum is in your hand and you normal a pendulum summon, it does go to your main monster zone. But say it's destroyed, you put it into your extra deck. When you want a pendulum summon from your extra deck, you have to put it to the extra monster zone. Unless you have a link monster in there, but we'll go over that in a minute. So if you're playing in a deck without link monsters, you'll be limited to 1 extra monster per at a time. The only case where this breaks the rule, there's a couple situations. If we'll grab Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Say you synchro summon Clearwing, it goes into the extra, well that's clear, into the extra monster zone, and then he goes to the graveyard. And then you use Call the Haunted to bring it back. It does not go back to the extra monster zone, but goes to the main monster zone. Same thing if your opponent takes control of Clearwing, and then you get it back, it goes to the main monster. Whenever a monster leaves the extra monster zone, and comes back to your field, it goes into the main monster zone. A little confusing, but whatever. Now you're probably like, well, that sucks. I want to be able to summon more than one, extra deck monster per duel. I don't want to be limited and all that. Well, I'm going to help you with that. Just a second here. With the new deck that was put out by Konami, Link Strike. I don't have the box. I had the box earlier. I don't know where the box went. Whatever. I got the deck right here. Oh, here it is. The new Link Strike box. I did an unboxing on this if you want a more in-depth on the deck. We got these. These are Link monsters. There are 3 of them so far in the TCG. We have Link Spider. We have Honeybot. And we have Decode Talker. Now, right off the bat, we'll use Decode Talker as an example, and we'll compare him to Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Right off the bat, you're going to notice some differences. First off, there is no level on Link monsters. We'll see on Link Spider and on Honeybot. There are no levels. Second, they have these markers on them. We'll talk about those in a minute. Every Link monster has them. Honeybot has 2, Link Spider has 1. And lastly, if we look down here, if we put these on top of each other, you will see that Link monsters do not have defense points. And because of this, they cannot be put in defense mode or flip face down. So things like Book of Moon and any effect that'll flip a monster face down do not work on Link monsters. So they are instead replaced with this Link number right here. This is a Link 3. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I tell something's a Link 1, a Link 2, or a Link 3 besides looking at the bottom? Well, you can tell based on how many arrows it has, how many lit up arrows or colored in arrows it has. Decode Talker has 3, therefore it's a Link 3. Honeybot has 2, therefore it's a Link 2. And Link Spider has 1. Now you're probably wondering, why do I care about Link monsters? Well, Link monsters, when put into the extra monster zone, allow you to special summon monsters from your extra deck to the main monster zone. You're probably like, well, how? Well, once you have a Link monster in the extra monster zone, you can special summon monsters from the extra deck to the zones that Link monster points to. So for Decode Talker, the arrow points to this zone and this zone. So once you have Decode Talker in play, you can summon, for example, Clearwing Synchro Dragon to this zone and Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon to this zone. Because, again, Decode Talker has arrows that points to these zones. Now, if we do something like Honeybot, you will see that she doesn't point to any zone. So you're like, yay, I have a Link monster, but because she doesn't point to any zones, you can't special summon any more monsters from the extra deck. Another thing worth noting, you'll notice, like on Decode Talker, for example, he has an arrow that points up. If you put this in your extra monster zone, your opponent can special summon monsters to the extra deck to the zone this one points to. And the same thing if this is your opponent's card, you can special summon monsters to here because the arrow points to it. So it works both for you and against you, and I kind of like that. Now you're wondering, alright, I like Link monsters, I get the gist. How in the living hell do I summon a Link monster? How do I do it? How? Well, I am here for you. The first thing you're going to want to do is to see what link it is. That is going to tell you how many monsters you are going to need to summon this particular one. So, we'll use Link Spider. Nice and easy, it is a Link 1, meaning you only need one monster to summon it. After that, you are going to look... I'll just put it down. After that, you are going to look here. I'm trying to get good lighting on it, it's not working. There. focus to see if what it requires. Its materials. That was the word I'm looking for. So as you can see for Link Spider, it says one normal monster, which lines up because it only has one arrow. So then to summon Link Spider, you will, let me get out a normal monster from the Link Strike structure deck. Hold on one moment. Here we go. There it is. I was looking for Bitron. You will get a normal monster onto the field, then tribute it, to then summon Link Spider. Now you may be wondering, okay, that's it? Pretty much. So we'll look at Honeybot now. Honeybot has 2 links. It is a link 2. So you're going to need 2 monsters to summon it. So let's look at its materials. We get rid of Link Spider. Its materials are 2 Cyverse monsters. If you don't know what Cyverses are, they are the new type introduced in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains in this new structure deck. So she requires 2 monsters, specifically the materials are 2 Cyverse monsters. So once you have, this is a Cyverse by the way, and so is this one. Once you have 2 Cyverses on the field, you can tribute them both to then summon Honeybot. Now, or by the way I should say, let's say you had Link Spider still up here. Let's say you had Link Spider still up here. He is a Link 1. And because he is a Cyverse, remember, Honeybot requires 2 Cyverse monsters. You can use him to summon her. Since he is a Link 1, he only counts as 1 tribute. So you will still need 1 other Cyverse monster to summon her. So you get rid of these 2, then boom, you can summon Honeybot. So you can use Link monsters to summon other Link monsters. You just need to make sure they fit the material requirement, and depending on how many links it has, depends on how many tributes it counts for. So if it has 1 link, it counts as 1 tribute. 2 links, 2 tributes. 3 links, 3 tributes, so on and so forth. And we'll do the last one, which is Decode Talker. Decode Talker is a Link 3. So you can, well, hold on. He's a Link 3, so he will require 3 monsters. If we look specifically, we will see that he is generic. Generic, right here, you'll see 2+ effect monsters. I know it's blurry, but trust me, that's what it says. 2+ effect monsters. What that means is that it is generic. Any generic Link monster, I think, is going to say that. So, you know you need 2+ effect monsters, but because it's a Link 3, you're going to make the conclusion, I need 3 total effect monsters, which we'll get out now. Here's 1 effect monster, here's 2 effect monsters, and 3. So once you have 3 effect monsters on the field, you tribute them all, and then you can bring out Decode Talker. And from there, you can special summon, obviously, other extra deck monsters to the zones it points to. Or, let's say you have Honeybot and Link Spider on the field, because remember, Link Spider points down, so you can summon Honeybot to the zone it points to. You can tribute these 2, since these are effect monsters, to summon Decode Talker. You may be thinking, well, how? Well, if we look, Link Spider is a Link 1, and Honeybot is a Link 2. Link 2 plus Link 1 equals, I'm trying to get it, Link 3. Or you could use Link Spider and 2 other effect monsters, or Honeybot and 1 other effect monster. So, yeah, that is, no, those are the new rules. So, to recap, if you're going to Pendulum Summon from the hand, you can still Pendulum Summon 5 monsters, if you can, but as soon as you're coming from the extra deck, you are limited to only summoning 1 unless you have a Link monster that points to more zones. I know it's kind of confusing. I will link down below a video that the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel made. If you want to check that out, they do a better job of explaining it than I do. But yeah, that is it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a rating would be super duper very much appreciated. And as always, you've been the Legion, I've been the Modder. I love your faces, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.